First and foremost, condolences. Any time a life is lost, it's ultimately a tragedy. When 18-year-old Aron Warren's family sat in a packed courtroom at the Old Bailey, eyes welling, holding back sobs, and they listened intently as the judge chastised 16-year-old Kamari Gordon for his abhorrent actions like an M. It was profound. Aron's mum was said to have thanked the judge for looking at her son, 18-year-old teenager, or as a young man, rather than a number on a docket. On the day of the M, 16-year-old Kamari had been seen by witnesses lingering outside Aron Warren's third-storey flat in Prior Street in Greenwich. Kamari, whom had a very troubled background, was not afraid of police, and he showed no signs of being afraid of confrontation. After all, he would be the one to initiate it by going to his victim's home. In fact, the 16-year-old revelled in being seen as a GM or a quote-unquote bad man. He was not loyal to his friends and not loyal to his family. He was the walking embodiment of somebody you could not trust. Now, Kamari had brandished his blades before the M while still outside the flat and was said to have waved it around aggressively. The blade was large in size, and Kamari had told witnesses that he was going to see quote-unquote Irish. The simple declaration was not said in jest or in a way someone would speak if they were going to see a friend. Even though Aron Warren was his friend, it was said in a threatening manner, made that much more menacing when the blade had cut through the air in a whoosh sound. Aron Warren, who was of Irish heritage and some say was part of a travel community, had lived a comfortable lifestyle afforded by hard-working parents. Aron was also said to have worked for his parents as well, but also he was dabbling in selling Class B. The 18-year-old was also known to wear a Rolex watch and often carried large sums of money around with him, and he wore designer clothes. Kamari and Aron were known to each other. The teenagers were in fact said to have shared the same social group and were considered friends, but Kamari, who came from a working class background, grew tired and frustrated of seeing his pal Aron with a fancy watch, money, enough money to pay for food when they all went out, and as I said, designer clothes, and electronics such as iPads. These were the things that Kamari craved. It was that horrible, treacherous trait called jealousy, envy, bitterness that spurred Kamari into action, an action like committing an M, K-ing his own friend. He was going to take everything of value from Aron Warren. On Sunday, December 8th of 2018, Kamari Gordon, who was known as a member of a South East London gang and also used the tag name LB, LB Savage and LB Sav, described as out of control, Kamari knocked on Aron's front door just before 9:41 p.m. At the time, Aron had been playing PlayStation. Now Aron paused the game and went to the front door. Aron opened the door to see his own friend standing there, large blade in hand. Now, according to a witness who was actually inside the flat at the time of the M, they explained that LB Savage had not even spoken before he had plunged the blade into Aron. Quick, ruthless, aggressive. The witness heard a groan come from Aron and then saw Aron take a few stumbled steps backwards, barely holding himself together, before managing to open the balcony door. Kamari turned to Aron, who was in a bad way, and turned directly to the witness stand. Kamari told the witness to stop playing computer and pack up the PlayStation and put it on the sofa. Kamari stepped over Aron, whose colour was draining from his grieved face. The witness says in a commanding and authoritative voice, 16-year-old Kamari then demanded the witness to search the house and look for money. Now Kamari watched on as the witness searched the cupboards and drawers in the kitchen, then the drawers and under the bed, and trainer boxes in the bedroom. While the witness looked for items of value, police believe Kamari had retraced his steps and tried to wipe down any surface area that could hold his DNA, the front door included, and also the wall. Kamari took the PlayStation off the settee. He also took an iPad, 2 blades that were sheathed, and also Aron's Rolex watch, and of course money. When the witness stood in front of Kamari in the living room, Aron off to the side still laying on the ground, there was a few seconds of intense silence, the cogs turning in a destructive Kamari's head, probably thinking, does he have to K the witness too? After what probably felt like a lifetime, Kamari told the witness, you can call the ambulance now. With that simple sentence, Kamari just left the scene, of course with the items. Now Aron was left with catastrophic injuries after being bladed twice in the chest. Emergency services were called to Topham House after the blading was reported. When police and ambulance crew arrived at the scene, the 17-year-old witness had been placed in handcuffs as a precaution. Aron was then given emergency care, but sadly he was pronounced dead just 40 minutes later. Kamari Gordon was not just young in that age, but he was also young in maturity too. The greedy teenager had killed his friend for no other reason than for materialistic gain. Kamari, who is from the Brookdean Road in Plumstead, had taken just 5 hours to go on social media and start posing with the items that he had taken from Aron's home, more specifically the Rolex watch. Kamari had taken a picture wearing Aron's Rolex watch and then uploaded it to Facebook. The saddest thing was the Rolex watch was not even real, it was a decent fake. And after the yam was committed, Kamari also wrote on Facebook, now the cub becomes the lion. Later, Kamari edited the caption to include, and the other lion got ate, referencing to the slaughter. It took police just 4 days to arrest Kamari Gordon, place him in handcuffs and then take him into custody and then charge him for the yam, having a blade in public place and also the robbery. And on December 12th, Kamari immediately denied all charges. However, police were able to put Kamari at the scene of the crime thanks to the witness statements, CCTV and an Oyster card used by Kamari. The Oyster card actually belonged to his sister. Also, police found Aron's DNA red in Kamari's right trainer. Now when Kamari's home was searched, police found a fake Rolex watch and the 2 sheathed blades that were taken from Aron's flat. When police investigated the yam, again they found out that Kamari had spoke to friends 2 weeks prior when Kamari had let them know that he was going to rob his own friend Aron. Aron had made his money by working for his parents, but again he also sold weed on the side. Police were also able to map Kamari's route from his home in Plumstead to Aron's home in Greenwich. In order to get there, Kamari had used his sister's Oyster card. The court also heard that Kamari had discarded most of his clothes he wore on the day of the M. Kamari kept the M weapon though. He even boasted to friends that he had cleaned the blade at least 5 times following the incident. Kamari was put on remand while awaiting trial. Now Kamari was heard telling other inmates that he had bladed someone and watched them die in a boastful manner. He then told people that he had then got rid of the evidence. And in order to highlight just how of a danger to the public that Kamari Gordon was, aka LB Savage, CCTV was released which showed Kamari brawling with a police officer when the officer was blindsided and then struck before they received a knee while on the ground. And another incident showed Kamari lunging himself at a prison officer. Unhinged, unpredictable, a brat with an insatiable appetite to K again, Kamari showed all the signs of a young adult who had idolized dangerous criminals and believed that the only way to get respect was either to rob, K, or be a GM. Now, after the jury had found Kamari Gordon guilty of the M, the judge jailed Kamari Gordon for life, and he was told that he would serve a minimum term of 17 years. After sentencing, Detective Brett Hagen, who worked on Aron's M investigation, says that Kamari will now have a long time to reflect on his actions, and I hope the sentencing brings some form of comfort or closure to Aron's family. Does the crime match the sentence? Let me know. Stay safe.